of interest is to know that Kenyans are eager to give their views concerning not only the budget, but also the finance bill. So I'm going to get a few people who are going to give their views concerning the finance bill. And on set, I'm joined by Wainaina Gichere, who is the student leader at the University of Nairobi. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. How are you doing this morning? Now, what are your views about the current or the proposed budget 2024-2025?
First of all, I can start by saying they deducted the money on higher education loans. That is HELB, meaning it will affect many students. The financing, actually, if you look at the new financing model, it has already had effects on students. Some students paying more money, others paying less, and by them reducing the amount of money being paid by being given to HELB, meaning more students, the number of students who are paying more will increase, because they were saying that they are increasing the amount of loans so that the needy students can be financed for their education. Yes. But what they are doing is reducing the amount of money, meaning they are reducing the number of needy students in their accounts, meaning more people, even the needy students, will not be able to study at the universities. Yeah, that is the first thing. The other thing, they have removed from the budget the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, which is something that was encouraging entrepreneurship in this country. And if you are not supporting enterprises by the youths, then I don't know what kind of a country you want to run, because the youths make a larger part of our economy. We are the driving force, and by you removing the fund that sponsors the enterprises, small enterprises opened by the youths, then you are doing something that is uncalled for. Yeah. So on the budget, those two things, I think they are the ones which have affected students. They have affected the youth very badly.
Do you think there will be a change in the way that is approached during today's reading, or what do you expect that to be dealt with?
First of all, I expect them to increase the amount of money given to HELB, number one. I also expect them to increase the amount of money that was, apart from they totally removed the money of the Youth Enterprise Development Fund. I am expecting them to add on the money from the last financial year. They should add a certain amount of money to that, not to reduce it, but to add on it. I expect that from the chairperson, budget committee. Yeah.
To know, find the finance bill 2024.
At some point we reach an
interplay between the current budget, the proposed budget, and the proposed finance bill 2024. What are your views on the proposed bill?
On the proposed bill, as an economic student, I understand the importance of taxes in a country. But there are some taxes which I think we should regulate how they are doing it. For example, they have proposed to increase the taxes on internet data. Yeah, like the current one was 15%. Now they are adding 5% to it to make it 20%. Meaning the data that you are buying with 15 shillings, you'll now buy it with 20 shillings, which I think 5 bob is something that can be used by a comrade in a very large way. Yeah, we cannot say that 5 shilling is not something that is like just can go just like that. And by us increasing the amount of taxes on internet data, it reduces the people who are accessing the digital space. It makes it expensive for students to access their classes, because most of the classes right now, they are online. Yeah. So by them increasing taxes on certain things, then you are discouraging the youths from venturing into the entrepreneur space in the digital world. Yeah. Also, they have increased the taxes on locally assembled phones. They were cheaper. Like someone who had finished Form 4 could go and look for a phone that was assembled locally. We know them. They are cheap. Yeah, they were zero rated. Now they have been included in the VAT 16%. Yeah. So what they are doing is they are discouraging the youths from venturing into the digital space. Yeah, so those are the things in the finance bill. Also on the motor vehicle tax, you know, I know most of the youths don't own cars, but we are told we are the future. So some of the things that we are seeing that they are doing right now, which may affect us later, we have to call them out. For example, on the motor vehicle tax, the 2.5 motor vehicle tax annually, I had proposed that they had put a ceiling of 100,000. Like the most someone can pay is 100,000, and the least someone can pay is 5,000. Meaning a person owning a car that is worth 30 million will pay less than 1%. Yes. But a boda rider who owns a motor vehicle or a motorcycle worth 80,000 will pay more than 2.5%. Yes. Meaning it is affecting more on the bodas. It is affecting the bodas and the people owning the Ubers. Yeah? And we all know bodas, Uber, they employ many people in this country. So I had proposed, instead of us taxing the motor vehicles based on the value of the cars, we can do it on the amount of carbon being emitted by the cars. We know these engines, we can do it based on the rating of the engines. How many cc's does a car have? Then you pay more tax on that car, right? Yes. Then also in the constitution, there's the definition of motor vehicles. Yes. It includes motorcycles. So by them putting the motor vehicle tax, I know most bodas they are saying that they have been exempted. Yes. The constitution does not exempt them, meaning they'll pay. Yes. They'll have to pay the 2.5 motor vehicle tax because the definition of a motor vehicle includes motorcycles. Yeah. So they can amend the definition so as to exempt the bodas from paying the 2.5 motor vehicle tax. I think that is how this country should. That is the way forward for this country.
That is the way forward. Let's now cross over to Kisumu City,